Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm Category Development Exec at Warburtons.
Hi, all Dreamer C-Talk. So thanks for inviting us to Warburtons HQ today. So why is bakery such a crucial driver of footfall and sales?
Well, I guess bakery in itself is part of everybody's everyday routine. So things like bread or a regular purchase. So it brings customers into stores sort of little and often every day. It's also a really good driving impulse. So once shoppers are in store, things like sweet treats or specialty breads can catch their eye and encourage them to pick up that bit extra. So bakery doesn't just get people through the door, it also helps them increase how much they spend when they're there.
And then when we look at bread, we know that having the right selection of bread, as we see behind us, is important, right?
Yeah.
So it's not often that a customer comes in just for one type of bread. They'll shop the fixture and it's sometimes 2 or 3 different types of bread in that basket. And I think what Warburtons do, they do a great job about the range of bread, don't they?
Yeah, so we have so many different types. So we are sort of branching out recently into that premium area as well, which is a big trend in the market. So we've just recently launched out sourdough SKUs with that big focus on sourdough, which is really big in the market at the moment. We're also focusing on sort of protein range and getting all those nutrient dense sort of products into our bread as well. So we've got our fibre fix, our protein powder, and then obviously we've got all our everyday bread. We're sort of going into a bit more of a specialty type as well with that mega thick, so going into a thicker slice profile as well. So yeah, lots of different choices that we offer with bread.
And I think if retailers in their convenience stores get their category of bread right, it fills that basket up throughout the journey in the store. So tell me about trends within bakery. Are there particular occasions that are trending like that?
In terms of sort of occasions, we're seeing growth in like dinner for tonight missions. So people are looking for sort of specialty rolls like your brioche to create burgers for evening meals, wraps to create pizzas in home. So it's all about creating that out of home experience and bringing it in home, especially with the cost of living crisis at the moment. People wanting to save money, so eating out is a lot more difficult at the moment. So bakeries is a really key player in helping drive that. Another key occasion trend is sort of sweet snacking and on the go. So products like waffles, croissants, pancakes are also becoming increasingly popular, and especially in the convenience market.
Great, and you've got the whole collection here, so it's a great way retailers get behind and support the Warburtons brands in the store. So space is limited in stores, and we know some stores are different sizes. Some are for 500 square foot. You're a small independent store. You've got your forecourts, you've got convenience, and you've got multi-site operators out there as well. So what are the must-stock Warburtons SKUs for the retailers?
I would say, so space is limited. It's all about keeping things simple and avoiding duplication across the range, especially when it comes to everyday bread. As I said previously, it is in decline, so it's all about getting those key everyday bread SKUs within the range, but not having too much duplication. So if I was to look at Warburtons range, I would say definitely you'd have white toasties, small and large, wholemeal, small and large, seated in half and half, which covers those everyday bread sort of area. And then to cover off bakery occasions, I would say crumpets and rolls, because they're super popular. And then if space allows, a premium option with that trend sort of growing in the market at the moment. So you could go in with like farmhouse style loaves or tiger bloomer as well to encourage that trade up and that higher ASP. But if I had to pick a top 4 with the Warburtons range, it would be toasty, wholemeal, crumpets and rolls, because we're all currently the brand market leaders in those areas.
Wow, great stuff. So following on to that then, if I'm a retailer, what quick wins could I implement immediately in my store?
So one big one is just visibility, getting bakery sort of front of store or in high footfall areas. Having sort of, I guess a good example is getting crumpets in the dump bin by the till point, sort of driving that sale and that impulsivity. And then another obvious one is availability, making sure sort of shelves are full in those key trading areas like breakfast and lunch, so the key opportunities aren't missed. And then another one, I guess, is like simple cross-merchandising, like pairing bakery with coffee or drinks, which can really help drive sales. And then even clear pricing and signage can always make a big difference as
And FSDUs, dump
FTUs,
bins.
Yep, dump bins.
They're all available for Warburtons, right? For secondary
Yes,
siting.
we actually have stands which we can provide for stores where you can. So I think some we've got roll stands. Trying to think what else we've also got. So brioche shippers as well, which we can put in store, which is always really ideal for some.
So that secondary siting can happen at anywhere in store, and it can drive additional basket spend.
Yeah.
So from a category perspective, what does a winning bakery fixture look like in convenience?
So I would just say it's all about being easy to shop, especially when space is limited, as we mentioned before. So simplicity really is key. It's important to minimise duplication, so the space offers clear choice across everyday bread. And as I mentioned before, as we know, bread is in long-term decline and bakery occasions is in growth. So it's about getting that right split on the fixture as well. So I would say in the market at the moment, 60% of sales going towards bakery occasions and 40% towards bread. But for convenience, I would probably aim for a 50-50 split within the bays. So if you have a 2-bay fixture, one bay being bread and the other bay being bakery occasions. Clear segmentation also really helps, grouping products together like small loaves, large loaves and premium lines, so the customers can just shop really easily and quickly. And then finally, just making sure you have enough space for your best sellers. So for example, Toasty, you would definitely have probably about 2 to 3 facings to make sure that you've got the availability, especially through really busy periods, so you're not missing out on sales. So
that was great information shared for retailers out there. So as a retailer and from my retailer friends out there, how would we get this information?
Get this information by heading over to the Warburtons portal.
Thank you again, and thanks for inviting the C-Talk team here today to talk to you about your important category, bakery.